Precious, but brilliant! I don't believe it! I swear I do not believe it! And they are back on terms!
Good evening, welcome to the Rotherham United podcast post-match live. The sun is out and the Millers have another 3 points in the bag after a fantastic performance against Bristol City. Mick's with us, as always, me and Mick.
Hello.
Hello. As always, please do subscribe to YouTube if you haven't already, and also comment. If you want to get involved, comment and we'll get you through. And we'll talk about what you want to talk about, basically.
Did you rehearse this, Matt, or are you just doing it off cuff kind of thing?
Is it not obvious?
Yeah, it is.
I'm too busy enjoying the win,
Yeah, absolutely.
Our 10th win of the season. Incidentally, before we start recording, we checked and compared it to last time we were in the Championship. At this point, last time, we're now won double the amount of games. We only won 5, we now won 10, which is fantastic. A step forward from where we were last time, because drawing a lot of games is the reason we didn't stay up. They weren't anything last time.
Yeah, it was. Too many draws, absolutely. And this time we can't buy a draw, can we?
I know.
Bizarrely.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So Michael Smith with the first goal, with his 100th career goal and his 9th goal of the season. He has now surpassed his total in the last season in the Championship, as we keep comparing it to. And then Richard Wood gets the goal. It got deflected. We'll call it a deflection from Woody's header.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, call it what you want, mate. I don't care.
And Bristol City were never in the game. We were basically coming, and then they went down to 10 men, didn't they, because of an injury pretty late on. Make that work. We said this in the pre-match. That was as comfortable a game again, like same as we were last time, really, wasn't it, against Bristol City?
Yeah, it was comfortable, dead comfortable. They didn't do anything at all. Probably just about throughout the whole of the game. And they had that one chance that Naki Wells scuffed wide, and with the exception of that, they were garbage. They're a mid-table Championship side, in terms of that's what the league table says. But if there's anybody that could put their hand on the heart and tell me that they are a better side than us, then I'll stop watching football, because they ain't. Well, they're not, are they?
No.
Over the 2 games that we've seen them, they've offered nothing at all, and the league position suggests that all they're able to do is scrap a few wins here and there, and that's it. They're just a poor team for me. So
they're a bang average Championship team, aren't they? Bang average, and that's been kind, to be honest.
Yeah,
few comments. Callum Gibson, Richard, getting in with the Richard Wood song. One of the things I miss most.
Oh God, yeah. Literally magic, because it didn't actually touch it.
Ethan's Polish, already telling his man at the match, Angus MacDonald by a country mile. And for now, Chris Millwood, excellent professional performance. Glad to see all the players doing their jobs and well organised. Defensively, mate, we were absolutely outstanding, weren't we?
Yeah, we were. And even when we changed it around with the substitutions, it didn't alter it at all. That centre three, MacDonald, I agree with Ethan up to a point. I don't know whether he was my man of the match, but the improvement Angus MacDonald's shown over the last 4 or 5 games, and incrementally as well. So every game he's got better and better. Is fantastic, and it's great to see, because he did have that dip, and I know Ben's criticised him a few times over the sort of recent months on the podcast, but certainly over the last few games he's been outstanding, and Icky was just immense again, and Woody was just Woody, weren't he? You know what you're going to get with him.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
Jake Kidd, a fantastic result in a terrible situation. Our master plan has worked, or is working. It is, exactly. Did it all on purpose.
This is bang on right. This is bang on right. And I've had a conversation with somebody on Twitter today about Rotherham United's COVIDing, and we have basically one is COVIDing has put us in this position, and I am so proud of him. So proud of him. Fantastic work. I said I'd get COVIDing in a few times. I've done it 3 times now so far. Yeah. I'm just going to put it in every now and again, just completely out of context. I don't care.
Josh Smith, massive win today. Massive difference in the defence with Victor behind them. A great header from Smith, although the keeper had a Blackman moment. It's all in our hands now. And he also goes on to say big credit to Angus, like we've already mentioned, rock solid. Despite a lot of fans, not just Ben, but a lot of fans seem to have it in for him. He were excellent today, and Victor's back. Really, he's great. I just love him.
I love him to bits.
It's when we score, and he just comes and joins in.
Yeah.
I love it.
Listen, I think he is our number one. There's no doubt about it. Absolutely. But having said that, he does seem to get a lot more protection from defence than Blackman does, and it's just how it falls, isn't it? That's all it is. But. Anyway, whatever. That's by the by. He didn't have a great deal to do, Victor, today, did he? To be fair,
no, couple of saves.
But what I would say is, what he did do, he did it all with a massive grin on his face, which is brilliant.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Another clean sheet for him, which is always fantastic. Paul Barnfield, Smith was class, and his all-round game has improved. His hold-up play, let's talk about his goal in a minute, mate, but his hold-up play is just absolutely fantastic.
It's marvellous, isn't it? Yeah. And I thought to myself, as we were getting substituted and walking off and camera panned, sort of zoomed in on him, I thought to myself, I bet there's some Bury fan somewhere thinking, how the hell has he got from our bench to playing in Championship? And he's such a handful. And he's if he got some protection off some of these incompetent officials, then he would be even better and he'd be even more effective, is what I mean by that. It's fantastic to watch. Love it. He's really coming to his own this season.
Yeah, he has. I also think Freddie's helped in the last couple of games, because although Freddie didn't have much to do today, the game itself wasn't a very good game, but I think we sort of controlled it a little bit, and that's why it wasn't a very good game. But when it came to those areas, Freddie's really good at taking a man away or just occupying somebody else. It gives Smith that extra little bit of space. Although Freddie didn't score and didn't have a massive impact on the game, I still think Freddie deserves credit for the way he played today. I thought he did all right.
I think the second goal, obviously, that came from a corner, but that corner came from a free kick that was won by Freddie with some really, really good work down that left-hand side, getting into a decent position and basically, I wouldn't say he drew the foul, but the player had no option but to foul him, because it was a definite foul. But he's worked really hard today. But what I would say is, towards the back end of the game, as things started to sort of slow down a little bit, so did he, and his pressing stopped, and he started to get not into the right positions in terms of helping that press. Maybe just tiredness. I don't know.
But I'm going to put it down to tiredness. Hopefully, we've got 2 weeks off now, so it doesn't matter. But hopefully it was.
No, absolutely.
Jamie agrees. Loves seeing the Vikings celebrate with the players. The sort of like keeper coming and celebrating. They've got no right to be there, but he just comes and celebrates anyway.
Brilliant.
Paul Chadwick, fantastic result. Well done, lads. Keep it up. Ethan's Pulis. The only player I thought had an off-day person was Giles. I thought going forward we didn't see anything of him, but defensively he didn't really put a foot wrong.
No, he didn't. He didn't. No, you're right. He didn't. But he wasn't. He came into team with a like an explosion, didn't he? Yeah. Of pace and skill and just pure enthusiasm, and that seems to have been tempered. Now, whether that's been tempered by the management team saying, you've got a job to do at back and etc., I don't know. But we've just don't seem to have seen that those sort of piercing runs, that electric pace that he's got and taking players on since those first couple of performances. So yeah, I think probably if we were sort of putting a vote out there for the player who was least effective today, I think Giles probably would have won that.
Yeah,
he didn't have a bad game.
No, yeah.
He didn't have a great game either.
No. Callum Gibson, great to see Barley's looking deadly with the set pieces. He's starting to get back to how he played last season. Yeah, he's got back to that. Not only were the set pieces fantastic today, some of them were absolutely superb. The one that led to the corner where Ake had that header, keeper's pulled off a fantastic save. That was such a good ball in.
Yeah.
But his all-round player, he definitely had a dip in the middle of the season, Mick, but he's just back to his best for me, Barley. He looks after the ball so well, keeps it moving. That's the play we need, isn't it, at a minute?
Yeah, definitely. And he did this last season, didn't he? He kind of dropped off a little bit and then just came back towards back end of the season and really just shone. Hopefully we're going to get that from him this season. It's certainly looking that way, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah.
It's what we need. We need that quarterback in there, and he's certainly more than capable of playing that role and has started to do it a little bit today for me anyway.
Yeah.
So the last couple of games really.
It's going to be Ethan's push again. Lewis Wing holds our midfield together so well. He cements the two Greeks together, and I think that's a really good point. That I think Lewis Wing helps Barlaser do what Barlaser does as well. If that sort of makes sense.
Yeah. I was worried a little bit that they might be two similar players, but they're not, are they? They do complement each other really well. I agree with that. Definitely.
I do like Winger, but I've got a little bit of a gripe with him, and it's when we're defending and he just tries to clear the ball without looking at where he's kicking it, and he does that 3 or 4 times, and it put us back under pressure quite quickly.
Definitely.
But it was few and far between. But that's something he definitely needs to work on. Mark Gamble's afternoon, fellas, with a brilliant result. The Viking gets better and better. Odin is with us. He thinks Freddie had a good game as well. Great, the effort was there again. Yeah, I really want Freddie to do well because he scores goals.
Yeah. I do. I mean, I've been very vocal in my criticism of his work rate over this season, but I desperately want him to do well. I want him to just shove 2 fingers up at me and say, "Hey, I have some of that, pal." You know what I mean? Because it would be just great for him as a player. It'd be great for us as a team as well. So it's a win-win situation, and his work rate's been great these last few games. So long may it continue. Definitely agree with him, Mark. Definitely.
Another midfielder and player at Crooks Masterclass. Yeah, Crooks was superb. His close control of the ball. He shouldn't be that good on the ball, Nick, but he just is.
He's so unorthodox, isn't he? And it's like I don't know how he does it. He's a bit sort of. It's almost a bit sort of Peter Crouchish, because he's another one who should never be able to even control the ball, let alone run with it. But yeah, absolutely. But his vision and his link-up play as well. Since he's dropped that little bit deeper, it's been outstanding. Yeah. I love him to bits. Absolutely, you can't knock, can you? Really? Let's be fair.
No, that's true. Philip Cook's Tinian was slag Victor off most of the game. I don't know who Tinian is, but whoever he is wrong.
Precisely. Yeah.
Matthew Hepsall, great result, great performance. Everybody was brilliant today. Andy Guest, Mick, who was your man of the match? Who did you give man of the match to? Tough one.
Yeah, I don't know. I should have thought about that before I came on here, shouldn't I? Really, I suppose that was never going to be an easy question, would it? I think probably Crooksy. Probably Crooksy, just because of his all-round game. But somebody else can tell me somebody different, and I'll go, yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Smith's in weird shout because he was fantastic. Obviously, got the goal. All-round play were fantastic. Barley's is certainly in there as well. I thought Barley's was superb. Harding, I thought Harding had a fantastic game.
I'll stop it now. Yeah. Woody nearly scored. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell you who didn't get man of the match.
Referee.
Matthew Donoghue.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about him in a bit. I'll have a little rant about him in a bit if you don't mind. Just get it off my chest. Make the evening a little bit more pleasant.
Will Daniels, despite the lack of prep time, got it absolutely spot on tactically. Top effort from the coaching team in an extremely difficult situation. He thinks there's no way this side goes down.
100%
we're in the middle. Hamshaw is back on the bench today, but you don't know how long Hamshaw has been back on the. He could have come back today. You know what I mean? So the situation now is literally never happened before this season, and we're having to adapt. And I could not agree more. Tactically, Mick, today 100% spot on.
Absolutely. There's nothing else to be said. Will said it bang on there. I mean, that's basically this podcast over and done with, isn't it? You know what I mean? That's it. In a sentence.
Basically, yeah.
I can't say what else. Yeah. Thanks, Will. I'll go and get my tea now a bit earlier.
Chris Millward with the question that Paul Warren and Richard Barker and I'm sure are going to have to start thinking about. In midfield, who makes way for Lindsay? Do you bring Lindsay straight back in, Mick? I have no idea how that's going to work in midfield, but it's for the first, potentially, assuming everything goes to plan, it'll be the first really difficult decision to make this season.
Well, it is, and it's not going to be the last either. So you're going to move out for Chio.
Oh, yeah.
Or you're going to move out for Joe Mattock.
Yeah.
It's not moved anybody out for Sadler, and Sadler looks as dangerous as anybody when he comes on.
Yeah.
So if a team's winning and not looking like going behind like we have done today, if we have a couple more games that sort of pan out the same way today's done, you don't change it, do you?
I wouldn't have said so. But even if you don't change it, what happens with most times midfielders is that when you bring them on late on in the game, they don't have much impact on the game because they're central midfielders. Jamie Lindsay can have such a huge impact last 20 minutes of a game.
100%, yeah.
Or so could Lewis Wing, for example, if we needed to bring Lewis Wing in. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. This is the thing. You look at that midfield on the bench, the midfield that is on the bench, if you like, once everybody's back fit.
Yeah.
And they're all on there. Every last one of them is going to come on and run somebody ragged. 20 minutes to go, they're going to run them absolutely ragged. So this international break is massive for us. It's massive for us because if we can get the rest of those players fit or as fit enough to start playing again by the end of it,
or just fit enough to be on bench.
Yeah, it's going to be massive for us in this ridiculous run-in we're going to have.
Yeah, I'll go through fixtures next in a minute. Next 5 and 6 are very interesting fixtures. Paul Chabot, games at hand, players coming back as we mentioned, and us the Coventry, Birmingham, Wickham at home, all in our hands. What I will say to that is our away form. We've now picked up more points away from home than we have at home, which is it's not what we normally do at Championship. But I'll take it, I suppose.
Yeah. But we have had no fans in, have we?
No, that's true. If it's Polish again, that has helped us massively as the injured trio return, maybe to the bench after the break, so this can give us real momentum. I think it's the hardest play of the season so far for him, which I don't think is a bad shout. No. And Matthew Hepson, all brilliant for today. Lads can't fault anybody in the team for that. So I'm going to run for the rest of our fixtures, Mick. So obviously Coventry's to fit in somewhere. We don't know when the Coventry game's going to fit in yet, but it's likely to fit in somewhere just before the Birmingham game. So we've got Millwall up next on Good Friday. Wickham away. Wickham at home on Easter Monday. Then we have Huddersfield away. QPR midweek. Probably somewhere in there will be Coventry, and then follows Birmingham, and that takes us to the 17th of April. Out of those 6 games, they are all 6 winnable. I'm not saying we're going to go win all 6 games. All 6 of those are absolutely winnable, aren't they?
Yeah, without doubt. No question about it, particularly the away games, as you said. I mean, the bottom line with it is that, like you've said, the home form has not been great. It's not been great at all. But just, I mean, you take the away games out of that, it doesn't look at them in isolation. Millwall, shabby. They're a shabby side, aren't they? They're a Bristol City. They're a bang average Championship side. Huddersfield have really struggled. Really struggled. I can't. Who else have we got away in that? Can't remember.
We've got Millwall and Huddersfield. There are only 2 away games in there.
Yeah. So there's this 6 points easily there, isn't there?
Yeah,
I don't know, mate. Listen, there's a long way to go, and we just let's have this 2-week break now. Let's get off. Let's get some rest. Get some players back, and we're going to have to just get our heads down and get scrap for whatever we can get out of this last couple of months, because it's going to be such hard work.
We've got 12 games left. 12 games left, and we're on 35 points. And as we all know, you work by the magic 50. I certainly work by the magic 50 points. I don't know. I assume Warney doesn't, and the team, because they just try and win game by game.
Yeah,
but we're only 5 wins off safety, or 4 wins off safety plus 3 draws out of 12 games. That's not ridiculous. That's not unreasonable to sort of expect that. Bearing in mind how we've played this season, is it?
It's not unreasonable, and let's just look at the dross that there is in this division. We played one of them today, and I know that sounds a bit arrogant or whatever, but if there's anybody out there that's going to tell me that Bristol City are a better team than us, then I'm sorry, I don't understand football anymore, because they're not. They're quite clearly not. There isn't even a spark in that game. There wasn't even a moment within the 2 games that we've played them, I think, where they've looked even slightly dangerous to us.
Yeah, I agree.
And you look back at a lot of these teams, a lot of the teams that we've played, that sort of mid-table area, they're all very much of a muchness. They're just bang average. And in my view, and I know I'm biased, I know I've got red and white glasses on and everything else, but we are in terms of ability way ahead of a load of these teams already.
Yeah.
So
you look at some of the mid-table teams we played. Stoke, we played. We ran over. We picked up a point against them, but they were absolutely garbage.
Yeah.
Preston both times were garbage. Blackburn Rovers, although they beat us very, very late on, they were very lucky to get that win. Middlesbrough, I know, up towards the middle end, but when we played Middlesbrough, we looked comfortable against them. Yeah, we shouldn't be going down. There's absolutely no way we should be going down. But
I mean, yeah.
Andy Kisser says it best. Cup finals. Well, 6 cup finals the next 6 games. I don't want to sound too positive about it, but we could be safe by the end of those 6 games.
Yeah.
Not mathematically, but realistically, if we can pick up 4 wins out of those 6 games, that's not going to make us mathematically safe, obviously. But that puts us in a ridiculously good position to pick up 12 more points. Yeah,
it does. And I guess that's one of the things that Warney and his team are going to be looking at. And it's a question to ask, isn't it? You know, we've got how do we approach these next 2 or 3 games? Do we just go for it? Do we just go for it all guns blazing and hope that we can get over the line, so that when we are starting to really tire, we're already over the line, kind of thing? You know, whilst, like you say, maybe not mathematically safe, but realistically safe. Or are we just going to try and get what we can from the early games and then push on for the later ones? It's going to be a tough call for them, because there's no way that I don't think we can play with the intensity that we play at for 12 games in 3 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just don't see how we can do it. But who knows? Maybe we can.
Yeah, hopefully we can. Zion, we needed that win up the Millers. Yeah, perfect. Perfectly put. Mick, have your little Matthew Donoghue rant, if you like, now, because I'll start you off. I thought it was absolutely garbage.
Useless. 26 minutes before we got a single free kick. 26 minutes. It beggars belief. You know, and I mean, there's a foul on Smithy, where their player ended up going off for, which almost took Smithy's head off. It was ridiculous. I mean, the bloke has probably gone off with a broken hip or whatever, a damaged hip. Now, he's damaged his hip on Smithy's head. Right? Yeah. And he's literally just took him out of the air completely. Throw in. I can't remember whether it was slightly before this, it was slightly after it. Woody gets an elbow in face in centre circle, right in front of the referee. It was Woody. Woody got one in the centre circle, went down like a sack of taters, and he just plays on, and they almost created an opening. You know, and then 2 minutes before half time, their player literally trips over the ball. He's actually falling over before anybody else gets near him, and he gives a free kick.
Yeah.
Matthew Donoghue is not fit to referee a professional football game. He's proved it time and time again this season. He has cost us probably 5 or 6 points already this season before today. Well, with the Forest game, the Swansea game away, just 2 that I can think of. You know what I mean? He is not competent enough to referee at any level, let alone this. He needs to go back down to under 7s, under 8s, and start again. I'm serious. It is. You know, I mean, we have a little bit of a joke about it and everything else, but this season has just been an absolute embarrassment from an officiating point of view. And of course, I mean, I know it's slightly off topic. Warnock gets his charge of misconduct this week for daring to criticise an official. You know, I don't know who's in charge at PGMOL. Kim Jong-un.
Riley. Mike
sure
Riley, I think.
It's Kim Jong-un, isn't it? You know, do not criticise authority. If you do, you're going to get punished, mate. Bizarre. It's a bizarre set of circumstances. So at least we're able to do that as supporters and put it out there and hopefully give some traction to the fact that these people are not competent. Because managers, teams, clubs cannot do that. Otherwise they get punished. What a state of affairs that is.
Yeah.
Anyway, Donahue, get yourself off, mate. Get up to Stubbing. Get up and referee in some under-7s for St Joseph's, mate.
Absolutely. And Callum Gibson believes with you, but he's on with you. But you can't believe it took Walshake 6 minutes to get the first card. Yeah, they could have been booked a lot of times then. Daniel Scott lost to some good teams at home recently. I think it's four of the top 8 in the league that beat us in the last 5 home games. Looking at home fixtures we have, you fancy to pick up. Yeah, so it's a very, very good point. With the games we've got left at home, we got Wickham are down there, QPR are mid-table, Birmingham, Borough are playoffs, and then you've got Blackburn. That's it. There's only Borough that are anywhere near playoffs realistically, isn't there? So
yeah.
That tells you who we've already had to put up with and play at home.
That's Borough we beat 3-0 at their place that are up near playoffs.
Exactly.
Well,
mad at it.
It is. Come on, Millers. Let's not have any of this. We're going to go down. We might go down. We're not really good enough. We're in a good league one side. What an absolute load of nonsense. Look at the dross that we've played today. Look how they've played. You know, mate. We're there is no way we're going down. No way.
God, I hope you're right. The win was important. Coventry have drawn away at Wickham, which means Wickham needed to win to stay in with a chance realistically. Birmingham obviously lost to Watford. Our goal difference is almost back to where it was pre-Watford game, obviously -1 is the difference, which is not bad to be fair. Bearing in mind the circumstances and you've got to bear in mind the circumstances we're in. We should not have won that game today. There's no way in a million years we should have won that game before the game. And for the players to come in and play like that and the staff to get ready like that, it's just an absolute. They should be so proud of themselves, and worse, I certainly am. And I think everybody else is extremely proud of the way they've conducted themselves, not only today but overall as a season. I think they've been fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
They deserve to stay up. Barnsley could have done us a favour by beating Piggies, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Can't have everything, can you?
No, I suppose not. No. We'll have to start trolling what's his face from Red all over their podcast, Joe. He needs a bit of kick up the backside for that. Not fair. That not good enough.
Yeah, definitely. I think we'll finish there. Mick, anything else you want to add?
No. I need to get off. I need to get on Twitter and troll some Coventry fans and troll a few negative Millers as well if there's any about. So I'm looking forward to that. So see you in a bit.
Up them COVID Millers. Is all I've got to say.
Well, exactly. We've got 2 weeks to do a bit more COVID in before we start all over again.
Yeah, exactly. So we're back. We'll do an all podcast on Monday. So if you haven't already subscribed to YouTube or Spotify or iTunes, follow us on Spotify for the normal podcast, which we get on Monday, which we'll include then as we go through today's game with a bit more detail, and we'll do a mini sort of season review as to where we are so far before we have the international break, and then we'll be back just before the Wickham game as normal. So thank you all for who got involved. Thanks for your comments and things like that. We do really appreciate getting involved with these post-match stuff. And yeah, we'll be back very, very soon for more stuff anyway. So cheers, mate. It's been a pleasure.
Stuff.
Yeah. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
See you soon, guys.
Pringle looking towards Odegaard. Ravel, ambitious.